Hello, class is in session. Let's learn about Magistus. Magistus. Yeah, I got it. So, what you want to be doing is we actually have a really good hand here. We're going to be able to pop off. This is pretty much ideally what you want to be doing with the deck. So, we're able to get Magistus, Zoro, and he's like one of our best out of the deck. We go into Bahamut Shark, and I'm going to pause this just for a second just to explain how we did that. So Crowley, he's able to turn himself into a water, which gives us 2 level 4 waters. That lets us go into Bahamut Shark, which lets us go into Totally Awesome. And then since we had Zoro, that we were able to search through Artemis's effect, and that allows us, we haven't used the normal summon at all. We're able to summon Zoro. So, how do we do that? Trismegistus. This card right here, I'm going to mispronounce every single card you hear from now on, so deal with it. So, this card right here has a secondary effect. You can send this face-up card to the graveyard, special summon as many Magistus cards with different names from my hand. Since I had 2, I was able to do double special summon. That is how that happened. And let's go into the play. Now, when you use his ability, he's able to attach a Magistus extra deck monster to him. And if he does, I can special summon a level 4 spellcaster from my hand or graveyard. I have 1 here, and I could also do Ecclesia. Obviously, I'm not going to do Ecclesia because that'd be pretty stupid. Now, let's continue. Just trying to teach my little goblins how to win. So we're going to send Crowley. So we're going to go in our big boss monster, and he looks cool as hell. So he's going to attach Varam, and then Crowley's going to attach Artemis. Then we're going to play Dogmatic Ecclesia to get a non-targeted negate with Florderis. So I'm going to explain this card real quick again. Sorry to pause. But I've noticed sometimes in some of these videos that people still don't know what to do even after watching it. So, with this card, you want to try and attach as many different types as possible. Because as it reads, Fusion, Synchro, Exe, or Link. If you attach it to this card as Magister monster cards in the spell trap zones, the opponent cannot activate effects of those same card types. So now he cannot activate the effects of Synchro monsters, and he cannot activate the effects of Link monsters, which is honestly probably one of the more important lockouts. Like, Link and Synchro are pretty strong against a lot of decks. And this also has the added effect where it cannot be destroyed by spell and trap effects. And also, if it tries to battle a monster, you can automatically destroy that monster, anything that battles with this. And we have Totally Awesome for negates. And Florderis is a non-targeted negate. So, but you need Ecclesia on the field for Florderis to work. So our opponent's playing some weird Time Lord deck. He's going to attack. I'm just going to activate Totally Awesome. I honestly did this because I wanted to see the interaction between Totally Awesome and Time Lord. I wasn't sure if I was going to take the card. You don't. So that's just something to learn. Put Totally Awesome back in the deck. Bahamut Shark will be able to bring it back anyway, so it really wasn't a big deal. Ideally, if you were playing this seriously, you could have just played Florderis and negated the card right in the opener. But this way, we actually get to keep our Florderis, so we can actually go for an OTKO here. So we're going to attach that fusion. So now he's locked out of 3 different types. And we get an extra 1,000 attack, which is nice. Celine's going to special summon Ecclesia because we need Ecclesia for Florderis. Remember that. Then we're going to normal summon Verlonia. Then this is going to go into Access Code Talker. Easy peasy. Now this deck can't really use Access Code Talker that well because you have pretty much just, if you get Halki Fiber Axe, maybe, but you really only have not many links. But it still serves its purpose. So we're going to negate it, attack straight through, and we have game. Game Master just got mastered on. Alrighty, here we are again. So this is just a show, if you kind of get a wonky hand, how you can still win. So we have Endymion, so we're able to get Artemis. Artemis will get Zoro. Then we just go right into Borrowlord Savage Dragon. We have Magistus. Dude, I am so bad at pronouncing this. This is not the deck for me. We activate Zoro's effect. This is why we didn't activate the effect at first, because you can only activate once per turn. It's a hard once per turn. I tried to be stupid and try to destroy this. It doesn't work, obviously. Zoro is going to get our Varham. We're going to send Dear Servant, sending just a random card to the graveyard. And then we are going to go into Ecclesia. And Ecclesia is going to get our non-targeted negate. So we have 2 negates on the board, and he can't activate the ability of Synchro Monsters. So, unfortunately, he does that. So, if you actually look, he's playing Harpies, and locking out his Synchro Monsters is actually pretty important, because Cyber / Harpy Lady is really annoying to deal with. So that we have that handled. But he channelers, we counter it with Flutteries, and he just says, okay, I'm not playing this anymore. GG. Alright, we're playing against Boy. Boy's about to meet this girl, my girl Relania. Then we're going to play Tris Magistus. Special summon Endymion. Style on these fools. Artemis. Artemis is going to get our Crowley. Crowley's going to be like, hey, big boy, I'm bringing back. Honestly, me putting back Crossout Designator was probably the biggest psychopath move I could possibly do. Well, honestly, I just didn't even care. So we're going to use Zoro to special summon from our hand, because we need Crowley in the graveyard. I'll show you why. Because now we're going to be able to add Synchro. We're going to add the Link. And now we can add our XZ. So he can't activate the ability of pretty much anything in his deck besides fusions. And right here, honestly, when I seen Diviner of the Herald, I thought this man would be playing the deck I showed you guys on Sunday. I thought he was playing something similar to that, because that's one of the main starter cards. And he is running the main cards that you run in that deck. But we have Called by the Grave. We lock him out of that. Easy peasy. So this man just got ashed. Actually, this boy just got ashed. Called by the Grave, and now he's getting Max Seed, because Diviner is going to special summon on level 2. It's just not the boy's day. And we draw another Max Seed. He's going to go for a Nastin, which is kind of annoying, because he definitely has a lot of play, so I'm like kind of getting a little nervous here. So even though I have Link Monsters here, he can't activate the ability on here, but the ability that's already continuous can be used. So, since he has an extra normal summon because of Angel 001, he's going to be able to summon this Morningstar, which is nerve-wracking, because if he discards, there's a few cards he can discard that would actually just bonus. So, he discards Dark Lord Uprising. I'm scared shitless. But his Christia is actually preventing him from you going into his fusion. So I'm like, okay, well, let's see what we do. I'm going to kill his Christia right now. See if he activates in response. And he's going to activate in response to Ecclesia, which is absolutely perfect. I'm going to max Siege just to tilt him some more. Because anytime you play any of these games, you have to tilt your opponent. If you're not tilting them, why are you even playing this? Why are you playing this? So he's going to play the first Dark Lord, Prismatic, Royal Rare. This shit looking sick. And he's going to be like, I'm annihilate you. And Flutteries is like, I am a knight. You shall not bypass me, foul demon. And he locks him out. Now this game's like super duper duper over. And we special summon another Ecclesia. We attack twice. And then, boom, 500 attack across the board. We got, like, super duper lethal. Boom.
In the wild, we see a wild Kevin, or otherwise known as a non-subscriber. Kevin lives his life being unaware of his surroundings and being awful at Yu-Gi-Oh, the trading card game. Now let's move over to a Chad. Wow, glorious this Chad is. That's because he subscribed to Fat Sword Games, where you can become the best duelist in the world, or at least get some inches on that wang of yours.
I'ma bless you guys with another game. This one's a long one, so buckle in. You got Magistus. I'll never pronounce this right. As long as I live, I won't pronounce it right. How come they couldn't just call this card Bob or something? You know, something easy. Just Bob. Bob activates. We're special summoning both of these. I'm actually going to give a rating of this deck at the end of the video. Just so you guys understand like where I think the power level is. So Rilonia is going to come out. She's got a beautiful dress. She's going to summon Endymion. Endymion's going to attack Magistus, Artemis. Artemis is going to get Crowley. Then we're going to activate our Vitra. And then I'm going to normal summon Crowley, my bad. And we're going to go into Zoro. Then we're going to activate his effect to destroy. Because we want Crowley to add the link effect to this. Pretty dog shit turn. I'm gonna be real with you. I could have done that better, I think. I don't know if I didn't use Zoro's effect. I have no idea why I did it. So another thing I'm gonna say is rule of thumb. I think if you're going first, I think you should probably, again, just so you don't get one shot by Numeron, I think you should probably attach like the XZ to this over the link. It's kind of hard. It's hindsight, you know. The thing is, he's an idiot and he's trying to go for a hit, and Varim stops the attack from going. So my whole board gets wiped. We can build though. We got Spellbound Mastery. Tried to bait to see if he had anything. We play Endymion. We get popped. We're going to play Nadir Servant. And we're going to use Elder to pop his back row again. I'm going to be real with you. Things are not looking good for me right now. But I don't die here. I think that's an important distinction here. He's going to go into Mech Knight Crusader Avermax. And you might be saying, Fatzoid, you're screwed. I'm actually not screwed. This is a very easy card to deal with this deck. Because we have Dogmatica Ecclesia, which gets a Flutteries, and Flutteries has a non-targeting negate. So Flutteries is going to attack. I wish Flutteries was invincible, but it's not, sadly. But we're going to just trade it in. He's going to send one of our Ecclesias back, but we got still one to do the job. He's going to play that Numeron Wall. Because you know what? He's out of resources. He's only got 3 cards in the extra deck. Like, this guy ain't doing much. We're at 2,700 life, but not a big deal. Like, what is he going to do? Was he going to Kaiju him? Thanks for giving me a stronger monster. He might have Ring of Destruction. That's an option. I could have went for game here, by the way. Game would have been attaching Artemis to this card, searching for the card, and then going Evocation to go into the fusion. But I don't know what he has I didn't want to risk dying or doing something stupid. I don't know if this deck's running something weird like Mirror Force or something, and then I'm screwed. And we win. GG. And we're here to go over the deck. So one thing I'm going to tell you right now is this deck is not very strong. I mean, it's strong. Like I was playing all these games which are actually in Diamond. This is my main account. But I'm going to tell you this right now. The deck, there's so many better decks out there. Like, you're putting all this work. So think about it like this. Your best board, your absolutely best board, is something like Borreload Savage Dragon with Zoro, with maybe some type of backup, right? Or you get a totally awesome, like you seen in game 1, where you got totally awesome. We have untargetable negate. And have Zoro negating Link and Synchro monsters. And it's not even negating. This is where I'm going to get into. So the problem with this deck is, like, even if you get your boss monster out and you have everything attached, right? You have a Link monster, you have a Synchro monster, you have a Fusion monster, and you have an Exisa monster, right? You can have every single card attached to this card, and people could still just win. Like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, they can either go over the top by attacking over it, or they can just destroy it with a monster effect. Like, hello, DPE. Like, and before you even say, well, if you had IWAS attached to it, then DPE can't activate the effect. Dude, it's first of all, it's hard to get 4 things attached to the monster on turn 1. And most of the time, you're not going to go for the fusion one, because the fusion could be a good play to actually go into as a monster itself. But the problem with the entire deck is there's too many outs to it. Like, if I go for a full board, there's so many outs the opponent can do. You know? Whereas something like the deck I posted yesterday, where it was that Hyperion deck, like, they could Lightning Storm my board, or they can get rid of, let's say, my main cards. But guess what? They're not getting rid of. Like, they're not getting rid of Christia without using something like Regeki. And that card was way more... Stopping your opponent from doing special summons at all is way more suppressing than this card, where it just stops activated effects. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. This card will single-handedly shut down decks. Like, if you play against a Synchro deck, like someone playing like the Jet Synchrons or whatever, you shut them down completely. You play against an Auroradon deck, you shut that down completely. So don't get me wrong, you do shut down decks. But I'm just saying the deck has a lot of outs to it. Like your opponent can out it a lot. And if your opponent's playing disruptive cards, they can just shut down your combo almost fairly easily. And we're running the Spell Power Mastery just so we can get Endymion, because Endymion by itself can pretty much almost combo do the whole combo by itself. But ideally, you want to have the spell card, or you want Zoro in hand, or you need Crowley with a few other spellcasters and stuff like that. Overall, I say I'm going to start doing a grading system at the end of all my videos. And for this deck, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I think this deck is good. Don't get me wrong. I think you could climb the diamond. I actually think you could climb the diamond 1 with the deck. I just think you're going to have a lot of practice with the deck. You're going to have to know the matchups in and out. And you're just going to have to get a little bit lucky too. Because if you're playing against people who are playing against your outs, playing against kaijus, you're just not going to win. You're not winning those. It's going to be very tough. Very tough to win it. And we're running a lot of hand traps too. We're running 6 hand traps, 7 hand traps, plus we're running 5 ways of negating their hand traps. We're playing a lot of disruption. And the matches were pretty tough. We actually run 8 hand traps. I forgot about Nibiru. overall, what I want to say is I think the deck's fun. I think if you have all these cards, like most of these cards are not expensive. Like you should have a lot of these built anyway. Like there are a lot of staples. If you have most of these built anyways, like I'm telling you, the only cards I had to craft on my main account was Zoro, Totally Awesome, and Bahamut Shark because I didn't have those. Nadir Serpent and Dogmatica Flirtius. Everything else I had. So the deck was not expensive to me whatsoever. So all I'm going to say is build a deck if you want to have some fun with the archetype. But there's so many better decks out there. Unless you're really having a hankering to play this deck, I would recommend maybe trying something else. Sorry, not sorry. Bye!